Welcome, everyone. We have the Trick or Treat Studio Gremlins 2, the new batch, deluxe Gizmo Mogwai prop. This is marketed as a prop. It's probably more like an action figure, but Trick or Treat Studios has designed this to be a very good representation of the size, the scale, the proportions, the look of Gremlins 2 Gizmo. This guy won't be superposable, but he should have some okay articulation, and we'll do some comparisons with their Gizmo that they came out with several years ago, which was meant to be modeled after the first movie. Starting with the packaging, we've got this very large open window, and just to give some scale to how big this box is, it's pretty big. It's slightly bigger than what I can get fit on the camera without doing too much, which means Gizmo is actually pretty large. We'll talk about that later. But we've got some nice photography on the front. We got the Gremlins logo. We got the Trick or Treat Studio. And then on the top, we just have the Gremlins again and the titling from the front. On the side, kind of get this weird, we've got the letters running this way, but we've got the photo and Trick or Treat Studios running this way. And it is exactly the same on the other side. The bottom is straight black. And on the back, we do get a little bit of a call out. We've got this photography that's meant to be a recreation of a scene from the movie. And then we've also got a call out to 4 other Mogwai that are available. They basically have the same body structure, but they're different characters. So the faces are a little bit different, the fur pattern is a little bit different. So that's cool. All right, so let's get this guy out of the package. Inside, he's attached to this cardboard. This cardboard does have a little bit of a printing going on in the background. It's kind of this kind of bluey, purpley cloud kind of thing. There is little rubber foam pieces on the side. I guess that's to help keep the ears from getting messed up, if I had to imagine. And then on the back, you got some very thick ties that you'll need to undo to get Gizmo out. Okay, so let's get him all the way out of the package. So here he is out of the package, and he's pretty impressive. You may discover that there's a few things going on with the hair you might have to take a little bit of care to. Like on this particular version, it was like some kind of junky hair over here on the side that I had to pull away. Some of the hair is not attached and it's kind of loose. Almost, you can kind of tell that the hair is, I guess it has to be made this way, but the hair is, plugged in and then they are trimming it. So there's a little bit of messy stuff here and there. So don't be shocked if you have some hair that, falls off or, comes undone from that process. Not that it's all coming loose, but there's going to be little bits of hair just coming off of this when you get it out of the package. Again, the figure is pretty big. So like here's a McFarlane Superman figure. And, that gives you a sense of how large this is. And we'll compare it with the Gremlins 1 prop in a moment, but there is a bit of a size difference. And I don't know how accurate that is to the original movie, going from Gremlins 1 to Gremlins 2, but it's noticeable. He's not as big as like Grogu. So if you've got the Hot Toys Grogu or the Sideshow Grogu, Grogu is a good bit taller than this guy. One thing I do like what they've done with the face. Pretty much everything that you see that is not hair is like, some type of plastic, a hard plastic like ABS, not like PVC. So all these exposed areas are like hard. The eyes have like a glass-like look to them. They are glossy, and they might be painted from the inside. I don't know if they're painted on the outside. And because of how they are inserts, you can see, a separation from the eyelids to the eyes. I think it just makes him look more realistic. Like looking at this guy on camera, it does make him look quite a bit more realistic. He's got some articulation, so his head does move, and I'm going to say it's on a ball joint. It's really hard to tell. And because of the hair situation, I'm a little hesitant to try to put it through some heavy motions, but there is a separation here. Like I can feel like the suit, or however this is made, there's some kind of seam. It's hard to describe, but it feels like there's a socket. The head is a socket that sits on top of something, and it's doing more than just swivel. There's another gimmick where the ears are articulated, which is pretty cool. So they, in their most down position, they're straight, and then they can go up very far. So that's nice. The arms have some interesting articulation. So the hands are, we're going to call it a swivel, because I think, well, let's just keep talking here. The hands swivel, and I don't know what's going on with the arms. You can tell that there's a squishy body underneath, and there's no joint. So I think this is a bendy wire, like a very thick bendy wire that's connecting into the torso. The torso is also smushy, so maybe underneath there's a PVC body. I don't know. It's interesting. And the same thing is going on with the feet. The feet articulate not by a whole lot, and they do have the same kind of swivel action. So the way the limbs move, they feel like they're on bendy wire, and that the hands and the feet are at the end of the bendy wire, almost like the Hot Toys armature, like the dynamic armature, like for the Spider-Man figures. That's kind of what it seems like it's like underneath here. And then that is kind of it. Like, Gizmo doesn't do much else. This is not a Transformer. This is not a superhero. The construction of the little bendy rods that are in him are not really going to allow him to sit down. So just kind of be aware of that. And because this is not an action figure, if you go doing weird stuff with the legs, when you get ready to stand him, you're going to have to like work the legs to get it back into a parallel position where he'll stand. But once you do that, he stands like a pro. So kind of going into a little bit more detail, As you can see, the eyes look very good. Very good paint on the mouth. This is all kind of like one piece, nicely painted. The ears do have paint on them. It's very subtle, but there is paint. And they are see-through, if you can tell. I mean, they're not like transparent, but light will shine through them, so they will have the effect of like a real creature's ears that were this big. The hands are nicely painted. They look very human-like, monkey-like, however you want to call it. I mean, he's even got little white spots at the bottom of his nails, definitely on the top. And then he's got the same thing going on with the feet. And the feet are fully molded. They look like little bitty baby feet. So that's pretty cool. That is Gremlins 2 Gizmo. So for a quick comparison, here is their Gremlins 1 Gizmo. This guy is much smaller. I've got this sitting on a doll stand, and basically this is meant to be a recreation of a puppet that was used in the original movie. He's getting a little dry. I haven't taken this out and looked at it in a while. So I'm a bit worried about the durability, the longevity of this guy, because he's basically completely latex painted. He's got fur, punched into the latex. And if you don't know what happens to latex over time, just go look it up. It's not good. So even if I did something to treat the outer layers, there's latex on the inside, and I don't know. I think this guy's days are more numbered versus this. Another thing that I didn't like too much about this is, because it's basically, one piece, the eyes, on camera they look okay, but in real life the eyes do look like they're just painted, like it's just paint on top of something. They don't look as good as these eyes because these are, completely separate pieces. So that's just something to think about. Other little things is the nails are not as well taken care of. They're kind of nasty. Although that may be how the nails looked in the first movie. I don't know. It's not like you can. It's not like there's shots of the movie where you can like zoom in and look at this guy's fingernails. It's all very quick. But if you do go back and watch the movie, you can kind of tell some of the scenes where they're using a puppet. Like any time where Gizmo's barely moving, especially when he's getting picked up and held. A lot of those shots might be puppets. The only times that he's animatronic is when you see a lot of motion. If you see his mouth move, open and close. If you see his eyes move, that's animatronic Gizmo. But outside of that, the size. These two are just completely different. And supposedly this is correct. So I was kind of shocked to see the difference in size. So overall, highly recommended figure. This guy is up on Big Bad Toy Store for $119. It has not shipped yet, from what I can tell. You can order this from Trick or Treat Studios direct for $129. That doesn't make any sense, and you have to pay shipping, but you'll probably get this pretty quick if you ordered it right now from Trick or Treat Studios. So if you really want this guy, he's out there. You can get him now. The only other product that we have close to this is the Japanese Medicom that came out years ago, like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And that guy goes for around $400, $500. Similar articulation, more action figure like, because I think the whole under structure is like a real plastic, like with plastic moving swivel limbs. But for the price, this is the guy to get. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. And as always, tune into more videos coming up. Thank you.